Hi everyone, hope you all are doing great. In today's video, I'm going to review the autobiography Made in India, which is written by Bidu. Bidu is Bidu Appaya. He's a British Indian rock star and he's a very acclaimed musician who is regarded as one of the pioneers of disco, Euro disco, and indie pop. I took like 15-20 days to complete this book, and I'm amazed by the journey of this person as well as the writing style. I mean, the writing style is so like he has written like a real rock star in the true sense. So I'll just quickly make this review. So as you can see, um, this is the this is a book. Okay, so just getting it has around 32 chapters. So it starts with his life in Bangalore. He's a musician who was born in Bangalore in 1945. So the first chapter is The Sun Also Rises. Yeah, before I start this review, before I start with the first chapter, he has written a beautiful preface. So in this preface, he has wrote, "What propels someone to write an autobiography? I believe there are three main reasons why one does so. The first is the monumental and uh, huge sized ego that lives in the self. So the second reason is money, and the third reason is probably the most altruistic, is because you have a story to tell." And he then goes on to say how he was not intending to write this autobiography, but he wrote this because his wife threatened him with a divorce if he does not do so, and he inferred that the paying the alimony will be way more expensive than taking the time out to write this autobiography, and we are glad that he did. So those who don't know about this musician, so let me just say it just at the outset that he's the one who launched the musical career of Najia Hassan and Joeb Hassan, as well as many Indian and foreign artists. So he launched Najia Hassan in Firoz Khan's movie Kurbani with the song "Aap Jaisa Koi Mere Zindagi Mein Aaye," and "Leila O Leila" was also produced by him. Composition and musical production was done by him. And also Alisa Chinoy's "Made in India" he produced, and he sort of propelled Alicia Chinoy's career. So the first we then start with the first chapter, which is "The Sun Also Rises." So he writes about his how he was born and how his mother thought that his birth brought luck to the world, because that was the time when the Second World War ended. And then he narrates his life in Bangalore and how, like, in such a nice manner. And he also studied in Bishop Cotton School, which is also the school of which was the school of Lucky Ali. So I when I went through this, I could see a sort of a some sort of similarity um, between the lives of his Lucky Ali's, and when I read about the Bangalore part, also I could sense it is also somewhat kind of similar with Aslam Noor, their lives. But yeah, I mean, he's a musician of a different era, of a different generation, and they're also very different. But as I mean, as we say that like great minds, they do have some sort of they think alike, and in this writing, I could see that sort of what I can say, the familiarity. Um, but it is way more beautifully written, and so honestly and so evocatively explained everything, the narration and the everything. So yeah, moving on. So he then tells that how he came across the Western music, and it was out of sheer boredom that he uh, played Elvis Elvis's record in gramophone, and from there on he was hooked to the music. And then the third chapter focuses on their school days and how they were kind of non-studious and naughty. They even tried running out of their homes twice, and once one musician came to their to Bangalore, and he went to the airport to receive him. And when he went to his mother to say that just write a sick note, his mother reluctantly does, but the school principal found him in the photograph, and he got a thrashing for that as well. And so from then on, after they finished their schooling, after I mean he finished his schooling, he goes on to Hyderabad for a wedding party, but he does not tell his mother that he's going on a sojourn for this rock concert. And from there on, he went onwards and upwards from Hyderabad to Kolkata to Bangalore, sorry, to Bombay, and there they found a band, and they played the cover version of the Beatles, the Rolling Stone, and Trini Lopez. So that was the first phase of their musical career. And then the band that they found, they had a breakup. I mean, the one member who was Kane, uh, Kane Nanaklan, wanted to pursue higher studies, and they sort of broke up. And he then went on his own way to first to Middle East and then to Europe. And in UK he worked as a chef in American embassy, and from there on he tried knocking on the doors of many musical producers, but didn't get any chance. So what he did is he had some savings, and he put all his savings in producing music. So from then, that was in the uh, chapter 7, yeah. And from there on, he just went ahead with his musical journey, and one after the other he went to Japan. He basically toured the whole, I mean, various places, and produced music, revolutionized disco, especially European disco. And then he came to the subcontinent, to India, and so that is written very detailed, in a very detailed manner in the original King Khan, where he writes about Firoz Khan. And in between also there were many instances where he had to live a life in penury, and there was a drug bust that I'm not going to disclose. It's kind of it is kind of a controversial chapter in his life. And yeah, and how Scotland Yard came to his backyard. And and he also had something to do with kung fu, where he was working as a chef. So yeah, I mean, it was a crazy journey till he came to India. So in India, he met Feroz Khan, who told him that he wants him to produce music with Anand ji and Kalyan ji, and they were making this Kurbani. And also Feroz Khan met Najia Hassan in a party, and he requested Bidu to approach Nadia and audition her. So Bidu went ahead with the request. He auditioned Nazia, late Nazia ji, and signed her for a song in Kurbani. And from there on, as they say, the rest is history. And Najia Hassan went on to become so hugely popular star. Then Vidu also produced one album named as Disco Divane, which sold around 50 million copies in Najia Hassan's musical career. I mean, she had a short-lived career because she started singing at the age of 15. Then she pursued, at the same time pursuing the musical career, she also went to do law studies, but she passed on in a very young age. At a very young age, she was about 36. But Joab is, by the grace of God, he is doing well. He's doing fabulously. So after Disco Divane, he also produced Boom Boom in 1982, which also became a hit for Najia Hassan. And to be very honest, because we, the lover of indie pop music, also consider Najia Hassan as one of our favorites because her song was kind of way ahead of their time and so very different. And so yeah, I mean Bidu and Najia Hassan, what we can call is the pioneers of the indie pop as we know it. Uh, then he went to Japan and collaborated with a Japanese pop singer, and it also sold well, very well. And then he came back to India. Yeah. So he explained this in the chapter, the last chapter, Indian at Heart. So in '95 he produced many albums. Yeah, in '95 he produced Made in India with Alicia Chinoy, uh, and signed Alicia Chinoy to sing the title song. And he also produced one more album with Alicia Chinoy, and also he gave a chance to Shan, his sister Sagarika, and also Sonu Nigam. So reading this book, it I mean it was so unexpected. I didn't expect it to be such a wonderful book, but it just, I mean, what I can say, I have not read such kind of book in a long time. I mean it is one of its kind. And if I will just show the link to the Kindle, I will give the link in the description, but I just want to give a brief of the what to expect. The price is actually very low. The price of this book is very low. It is 122 rupees in Kindle, Kindle version, and it is like 280 pages. 280 pages. Yeah. So in all, this is a wonderful book, which is, yeah, 116 rupees. The book is 116 rupees, and the hardcover also can be ordered, and it is 260 pages. And it's a beautiful book. I mean, it. Those who will purchase it on Kindle, uh, the 116.82 rupees will be worth every single paisa, and such a beautiful. Readers will have a great experience. So this is my review for today. I hope you like this review, and you will be encouraged to read this book, especially those who love indie pop music. So do tell in the comment how you found this review and this book if you read it. And so I remain here. Thank you very much.